Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, some Bitcoin futures, the liquidation heat map, and the Sigma coin. So, all right, guys, we've done it, basically. The anticipation was that this move off the lows would finish with a 5-wave move, completing everything. And then we ended up doing a flat structure into the back test of our fair market value and the 50-week moving average. So yeah, this is something we've been tracking now since the Friday collapse on the Saturday, just kind of how we would play out of this. And effectively now there should be no more downside. This is kind of getting towards the end of the lows. Obviously we'll see together, but I'll show you kind of what we're looking for. So first we'll overview everything, and then we'll jump back to some cool little tricks that I just kind of want to share with you to go through on how to kind of best navigate these levels. So, all right. So this is the price action that we've done. Where did we think that we were going to come down with a 5-wave move off the lows and then turn around and break out from here? So, well, we have the 5-wave initial move right here. Okay, so there's your 5 waves. Then yesterday we did a whole bunch of chop where we did our A, B, and then a C leg down, back testing and closing the gap that we got off the lows. So now, with that being completed, we should be able to, we've now done our wave 1, wave 2 off of these levels, and we can start getting out of here for wave 3, 4, and 5 of our next leg of the larger degree. So plenty more to go, but this is just the beginning part. So now the thing that I wanted to show you thus far as we're looking through this price action is that we've so far been setting lower lows. What we want to be watching for to actually take this bet is that, some people will call a head and shoulders or something along those lines. We want to see a higher low kind of fill in. So my suspicion is we'll see the higher low here in the next, couple hours or so. And once that kind of comes in, confirms the higher level, and we have the head and shoulders pattern, that will be our free to get out of here kind of play. In addition to that, you can see that lower highs also help us with the 5 waves all the way across the bottom, and even through this wave B, it was lower highs the whole way up. So one strategy you could do: stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, and just keep marching your stop loss up. You could have even chased that up there and get up here and then close out and then run the down bet. So then if we take this and we invert it, so you can see it upside down, and now we're going up this way, notice that each of these are subsequent lower higher lows yet again. And it's now that we're starting to set higher lows that are actually higher, in this case, or higher highs. We now want to see a lower high form, and then we know we're rolling over and heading back the other direction. So that's just a real quick little trick just to help everybody in the process of when to exit, is let it organically fill your orders when it starts setting the higher lows or the lower highs being played out. Now, where did we get this structure? Well, we went back and we saw what did we do back in June. Well, in June we had a 5-wave move off the lows. We actually then ended up spiking for our flat and then went up to this wedge pattern and then broke down and completed. Notice here in the green box that right here, our green circle, we end up having a higher low that also gets set. So we end up having this higher low come into play. And this is what we're looking for, because we basically have completed all this. It's the back test with a higher low, back up to the top of the range. And in this case, I think we actually go higher faster, because when we look at the liquidity, guess who's up? We've got 250s. We can actually go here on the 12-hour all the way up to that level. 24, we're even higher. And you can see now that we would be pushing into the 265 to 268 range, which is in the cards for where we're going next. And this is again based off of this break up here higher, and then we do a quick back test to sweep the last of the late longs, and then we could start getting out of here, and this is what's coming. So if this, you figured this was what, 4 days, 3 days, yeah, 4 days to get to here, so you're probably looking at another week to here-ish, probably about a week. So we have about 1 week left, and this should be the end of our move, and we start just taking off. So yes, that's basically what I'm looking for in getting us back up to the higher price action. And imagine this is like the 360s, and then we just start grinding out of here to the higher levels and working our way out. So so that's kind of the setup there. Now, what's really intriguing is Bitcoin. Everyone's concerned about things being broken, about the bottom being in, but this intrigued me this morning taking a look at it. here is the futures market. I have not moved anything from this chart from where we were. And what we have is basically this gap close that we were looking for. So we've now, and a potential count with an ABC coming back into the gap. And look at that. You wouldn't even think we ended up having any liquidation event per the futures market, right? Just doesn't even show it here because it happened over that Friday window where it was closed. So we don't have any cascading liquidation wicks. We even hold above the 50-week moving average, which is this green stepping area here. So basically nothing is broken, and this was what we were anticipating the entire time, which was a large wave 1, wave 2, and then another wave 1, wave 2 of the next degree, taking back the whole region. But now we can get out of here, and all we have to do now is confirm what gaps are left, and this one is gone, and this one is gone, and this one is mostly filled, probably to the point of being gone in a sense, because it's just such a tiny gap at this point. So I think we're actually finished. I think that was the move. And I believe there's only just, and this one's gone. Yeah, this gap is gone. And I think the only one we have left was this one up here, which is it's the only one. So it's to the upside. So the price action just ended up being a flat, which we didn't get this ABC, but we ended up getting the 5-wave move to the downside right here. And here is our 5 waves. So we are now done with the flat with an ABC in this region right here. And now we're free to take off out of here and get going. So maybe we can even count the flat. You know what? I'm going to count it like this. This is the flat that we're looking for. So so anyway, long story short, this is really, really promising to see that we now have a completion of the, that's better because we're going to, sorry, I'm just going to apparently do this with you guys in the video. So we're basically going to complete our ABCs and our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s to give ourselves the flat right here. And then that's the end of that move. And now we're all done. And we basically can get out of here, and the gaps are all closed. The only one that's left is to the upside, and Bitcoin's showing us that it's fine. So finally, liquidation. Yeah, we went over to liquidation heat map. That's the way up. We're matching the fractal that we did back here. XRP, we're looking for the higher low test that we expect to come into play, and then it's max bid for me to head out of here and move all the way back up to this region plus and get out of this these lows. And then finally, the Sigma coin. This is really promising as well. We have a daily RSI flip to super positive, 29 over 13, massive spike. And despite the day being down, we've actually already had quite a bit of volume coming in, and our market cap is almost back to 1 million. So pretty good stuff. I believe the 3-day is still waiting to catch up, so we got a little bit more time for the price. Yeah, there it is. It's almost positive now here at the top, 4.64 over 5.13. RSI is still intact on the 3-day. So I would say in another day or two with bullish price action, that was it. Those were discounts on Sigma. And now it's time to get back into the wedge and get out of here because XRP is getting ready to go. So yeah, super bullish. Basically looking at breakout time for both XRP and the Sigma coin. So we'll talk soon, and thanks so much for watching.